Out of all the things that get changed by AI, education has got to be absolutely at the top of the list. So, to get an idea of what has changed, let me kind of like take you on a bit of a tour of my memory. So, when I was, let's say, 40 years ago at school, I remember I was really good at these. These were index cards in a library. I must say, I can't even remember fully how they work, but I was very good at it. So, what you'd have to do is if you were trying to find a piece of information, there'd be thousands of books in the library, but you could search by author or by topic. And one of these drawers would have something by either alphabetical or topic. And you would then go through these cards, and each of those cards would have a summary of what was in a book, and then you'd have to go to the book and find out the information by then the index of the book, and then you'd have to do that many times to compile a suite of knowledge that then could be applied to something. And that was the way it had to be then because the technology wasn't around. But many businesses are still kind of running on that logic of scarcity of information, which the internet has already replaced. Also, down memory lane, a couple of other things I remember from those days: payphones. So, communication was expensive. So, you'd have either put the coins in, or there was like a credit card kind of thing you could put in with credits on it. And the panel there would always have your money counting down at the top left. And you'd be trying to say something quickly before your money ran out, especially when you were a student. Um, and also, you'd have next to that was a stack of these phone books. So those are the advertising ones, or where you could look up people's names alphabetically. But then comes along AI, and everything changes. We don't have any expectation that we have to pay for communication. Of course, we don't. That's for free. Information is instant and ubiquitous and for free as well. These are the assumptions we now know. But then what comes along with AI is intelligence itself starts being for free. So, not just the access to the information, but doing something with it. So, a university student now is given a task such as write an essay on this subject, research this and answer that, answer these questions. Now, with information being already ubiquitous and the ability to process it through artificial intelligence now also being free and instant, of course, a student knows just to give that task directly to the AI, and the AI does it, and the student doesn't learn anything. It's a rather pointless exercise. But it was a system designed for a different age, for the age of like the index cards in libraries. So if that is the problem. And you see the same problem in business, actually. So, in business, you often get people doing pointless tasks the hard way, manually, when the AI could have done it almost instantly and for free. Why are they still doing that? Well, they're doing it because of mindset. And the one thing actually that universities are teaching by accident is teaching students how to give tasks to an AI. Because they've been given pointless tasks that the AI can do so easily, they're actually teaching the students a useful skill of how to delegate work to an AI and work in conjunction with an AI. But if mindset is a problem, that also could be taught. So if there was going to be, let's say, a university course that was actually structured learning, actually helping the employability skill of the student, what would that look like? So this is what I came up with this morning. So you teach people first, that um, there's intelligence is a resource. So intelligence is on demand, but you're showing people, the difference between a human doing something manually and an AI doing a task, and where humans can work in collaboration with an AI and actually add value. The next idea is the future backward strategy. So you look far into the future. If an AI could do anything for me, what would that look like? And then you see what's possible and easy now and implement that without too much stress. Next would be looking at How do you choose an AI super agent, something at the moment like Manus or GenSpark? So teaching people basically how to use those. I mean, they're quite intuitive. You just talk to them, but just giving people case examples of that and thinking about where to apply that into a life or a business setting. And also then what's called prompt engineering. It's basically just how to be a good manager of an AI through discussion. Next up, I would look at workflow automation and orchestration agents. So this is basically you look at a task in an office or a whole function, and you say, okay, this one remains human, then it passes off to an AI, then a human reviews, and you're doing process flow design, and also orchestration agents is going to be the next thing, where an AI can do a lot of that as well. But how do you collaborate with them? Another important topic is the ethics, governance, and responsible use, of course. And then finally, this overall mindset change. How do you change your own mind? And how do you persuade others to change their mind? I mean, that's leadership, AI strategic leadership in the modern age, isn't it? And then it's like, how do you draw that together into action plans? So I could imagine that would be, that's 8 modules. That could be a little university course in itself, couldn't it? I can't imagine what to fill an entire 4-year university course, degree course with, but here's a start at least as some ideas that I hope you find useful.